So the other day I was on a call with a group of nonprofits, small to medium-sized nonprofits, right? And this executive director was sharing how she's stressed out with her year-end giving campaign. They really want to end the year in the black. And so she's really was looking for some support for how could she kind of engage her board, get her board excited around helping them kind of close out this gap that they're looking to do. And then she said, well, we've raised $10,000 this year already for our year-end giving campaign, and the most that we've ever raised is $2,500, but I really want to close this gap and end the year in the black, and I just haven't even taken the time to kind of celebrate it. And so it really hit me because I feel like that's not abnormal for most of us, right? There's always another event coming up or another sponsorship we need to go after or a new grant that we need to kind of write up. There's always kind of that next thing that we forget to celebrate the wins. Raising $10,000 when you've only ever raised $2,500 in a year-end giving campaign and the year's not over is a big win that should be celebrated. It doesn't mean that you're going to stop the hustle or the grind or the work, whatever word you like to use. But it does mean that you should take some time for you and your team to really celebrate that win. It can be motivating, it can be exciting, it can kind of pull people together to continue to do the work. And we know that burnout around fundraising professionals is really high. And so how can we continue to move things forward, engage, encourage our teams, encourage ourselves, encourage our boards, our stakeholders, the people that are supporting us to keep doing the work, even when it feels impossible, too big, or like we're never going to get those wins that we want. So I'm going to share with you some of the things I shared with her, some other things that we kind of put into place or that we're working on for next year, and kind of a fun way that you can maybe engage your board in some of these celebrations. So that's what we're going to talk about in this episode. It's the end of the year. We're starting a new year fresh. Let's keep the momentum going. Let's keep the excitement going. Let's keep our team motivated and have some fun. I know the work that we do is often serious and heavy, but that doesn't mean that we can't have fun. So before we get into this episode, it is brought to you by our December freebie. If you are looking to build in self-care and support for you and your team and create a culture of rest and brain rest, again, we're not quitting our jobs, we're not quitting the work that we need to do, but just building in those moments of quiet in our day. We put together a guide with 50 ideas for how you can create self-care moments in your day, at work, as a team or individually, so that you can grab some of those and just fit them into the pockets of your day. They don't have to be big, long day spas, although you should do that once in a while. But what can you do in 15 minutes or 10 minutes, and how can you kind of calendar them out to make sure that you are prioritizing your self-care as much as you are prioritizing the work that you're doing? So you can grab that at thefirstclick.net/resources. I hope you grab it. I hope you sit down with your team, whatever your team looks like, and really talk about what that might look like for you and your organization in 2025. Again, you can grab it at thefirstclick.net/resources. Let's get into the episode. You're listening to the Digital Marketing Therapy Podcast. I'm your host, Sammy Bedell-Mulhern. Each month, we dive deep into a digital marketing or fundraising strategy that you can implement in your organization. Each week, you'll hear from guest experts, nonprofits, and myself on best practices, tips, and resources to help you raise more money online and reach your organizational goals. So you probably have goals for 2025, and we've talked about this in previous episodes about how to stay motivated, how to keep moving. And some of that is by creating milestones. What are the milestones that we want to hit to keep us on track towards hitting our goal? It could be a financial goal. It could be a registration goal. It could be ticket sales. It could be registrations, whatever it might be. It could be adoptions, number of people that you're serving. It could be getting people off your wait list. It could be numbers of grants, whatever. Whatever your goals are, I want you to take a look at the ones that are kind of the biggest drivers for your organizations. Maybe the ones that are going to take you the longest, or maybe the ones that you're most excited about, or maybe the ones that are the newest. Anyway, pick 3 or 4 goals that you think are going to make the biggest impact on your organization, whatever that might be. And we're going to block out milestones, whatever that might be. So our goal is $100,000. We're going to hit, when we hit 25, 50, 75, 100, we're going to do little mini celebrations along the way. And we're going to pre-plan those celebrations. So it's not like, oh yeah, okay, we hit 25,000. What should we do to celebrate? It's okay. At $25,000, once we hit that goal, we're going to go celebrate as a team. We're going to go out to lunch. At $50,000, we're going to have, everybody is going to get a $50 gift card. Whatever. At $100,000, we're going to do, everybody gets a half day off to use at their disposal. Whatever makes sense for you and your organization. But then you can also put a little bit of budget behind it. So you could say, hey, we've got $150 at each of these milestones that we're going to spend. So it doesn't feel like you're spending money. It's part of your budget. It's part of your plan. You've got it all put in place. And you know exactly what it's going to be. Planned. It's ready. 25,000. We know that this is what we're going to do. So what this does is a couple of things. Number one, it keeps you motivated. So again, as you get close to that milestone, it's easy to have that next push to say, okay, team, like we are $5,000 away. As soon as we hit that, we get a pizza party at the office. Like, let's see how quickly we can get this done so we can schedule that pizza party. It gives you motivation for some of those bigger goals to kind of keep things moving. If you're getting a little behind, it also gives you another push to say, hey, like we really want to hit this milestone. We really want to hit this number. Here's some strategies. How can we do this? And then you scheduled the party so everybody kind of knows what's going on. And then I would love for you to have a person who's responsible for the execution. And I think in smaller organizations, this could be a really fun board role. Who wouldn't love to be like the celebration? I don't know. I don't have a great name for it, but like, like the celebration chair. And their goal is to, okay, these are the goals that we're tracking. Their goal is to stay with the executive director, get the reports on where we are towards reaching those milestones, and then they get to execute and set up the events. I mean, that could be a really fun role for somebody, and it can be really impactful for your organization. Now, for personal goals, if you want to do this for yourself, for example, if you watch my podcast on YouTube, you'll notice that my office has been a hot mess like this since June. We moved. I have not prioritized unpacking my office. So I might have certain milestones. There's boxes all over here. So I might say, okay, I've got 15 boxes in my office. Once I unpack 10 boxes, I'm going to buy the whiteboard that I've really wanted for my wall to help keep me organized. Once I get my whole bookshelf done, this behind me, I'm going to, I don't know, whatever it might be. Maybe buy something else that I want for decoration in my office, a new book, whatever it might be. So you can do it for your personal things also, but you want to plan them in advance. I think that's the thing. So in the example that I shared in the intro, it's like, yes, you can take 15 minutes or a half a day and celebrate this $10,000. It might build momentum. And then you get back on the horn and you work on that next goal, because those two goals are not related. And I think that's where we really get stuck, is that we start to hit a goal, but that doesn't mean that everything else is still on track. So should we really be celebrating when we still have so much more work to do? Yes, you need to celebrate these wins in order to feel motivated, in order to feel successful, in order to continue moving forward. So that is my challenge for you. Create a plan, figure out those celebrations ahead of time, enlist your team, have fun with it, get excited, create those milestones, create those goals, create those systems for tracking. Because I think the other side of this is a lot of times we don't have those milestones. We're not tracking them. And all of a sudden we might even hit that goal and we didn't even realize what a big win that was, and we don't celebrate. And that's a shame. The other thing that my business coach does with us, and this again, it just depends on the motivation and how you work, is she gives herself if I hit my goal, this is what I get to celebrate with. If I don't hit my goal, this is my quote unquote punishment. Right? And some of the punishment examples that she has given us have been like, she has to do the dishes for a month. She hates doing the dishes. She gave her husband a shot. If she doesn't do it, her husband gets money to go on a shopping spree, whatever it might be. So for some of those goals, I don't think we want to punish, quote unquote, punish our teams. But for some of those personal goals for yourself, if that's something that would help motivate you, then feel free to also implement that as well. I don't like doing it for all my goals, but for some of the ones that I'm most excited about, the ones that I know are really going to kind of help me transform my business, kind of the big goal that I might be scared to go for, or that I might be nervous to do the work, or the things that I struggle the most to accomplish. So for example, the tasks that I don't like to do as much, but I know are important for my business, sometimes that's a great motivation because, I don't like to do these tasks, but I know they're good for me. And so if I don't do it, then I'm going to get a secondary punishment. And punishment is kind of a strong word, but I think you get what I'm saying. So try that as well for you if that's something that would be impactful. So I really hope that you will implement some celebration strategies into your organization, that you will celebrate those wins, big and small, create those milestones so that you have something to talk about along the way, and get excited about, and get your board excited, right? Use them as momentum, use them as motivation, but schedule them in advance. Just the act of knowing that you have a plan in place will help you make sure that you take advantage of those celebrations. Put them on the calendar, write them down. Make sure your controller knows about them so they can help hold you accountable. Make sure you have the data and the reporting and everything ready to go so that you can have some fun in 2025 and keep working towards those big goals so that you can increase your impact and build your organization the way that you want it. I know this was a short episode, but it's December and we have a lot going on, so I didn't want to waste any of your time. We only have one episode left in 2024, so I'm excited for that next week. But as always, you can check out the show notes and more resources and additional episodes at thefirstclick.net/285. I hope that you will subscribe wherever you listen. We are switching up our podcast to every other week next year, but we've got some more fun content and elements coming your way. So I'm excited about that. But for now, subscribe so you don't miss out on a single episode. Watch our episodes on YouTube at Digital Marketing Therapy. Thank you so much for choosing us to be your partner in your online fundraising, and we will see you in the next one.